College Gym Vids fan going live on YouTube. This is another live gymnastics meet for women's gymnastics. It's LSU versus Arkansas. LSU Lady Tigers got the win, which makes me happy as an LSU fan. Let's see. Now I'm going to hit the play.
Oh, you're cute. You guys hungry? You guys hungry? You guys hungry?
This is just a commercial for Walmart.
You guys hungry?
Grocery pickup.
You guys hungry?
I don't know how to fast forward.
Continued. We're on the campus of the University of Arkansas at Barnhill Arena as the 21st ranked Razorbacks host the 5th ranked LSU Tigers. Hello everyone, I'm John Roethlisberger, joined once again by one of America's greatest, Alicia Sacramone Quinn. And on paper, Alicia, this looks like LSU's need to win, but handicap it for us.
This season, LSU's had a little bit of a slow start, but they're finally hitting their groove. Last week, they hit a 197.65, and they've coming on to this with a very busy week. This will be their third meet in 8 days, and they've been putting up some great scores. A lot of that has to do with Sarah Finnegan. This past week alone, she has won 8 individual event titles, and she is the only athlete, or second athlete, 2 athletes in the nation to score over a 9.95. Arkansas, they have finished in the top 10 at NCAA's last year, and they are looking to improve their results this year, but been struggling a bit, looking for consistency, looking for building team scores. They want to go 24 for 24 tonight, and Mark Cook thinks they can do it.
Well, they are going to start on a good event for them in Arkansas. They start on the vault, and they are led off by the one who leads off every event. I call her the Iron Man of Arkansas gymnastics. She has done all around in every competition of her Arkansas career. That is Jessica Yanzon is here at the top of the list. To the right, that is how many times those gymnasts have competed on that event, on vault specifically in this situation. So it's important to look at their experience, and here we go with junior Jessica Yanzon.
Jessica Yanzon full. A lot of power, pipes down that landing, causing her to take that hop backwards, but it's a good start. A lot of momentum going into the vaulting table, good form, legs together. Just needs a little more control on that landing.
The stuck landings are a thing for Arkansas. We saw them earlier in the season, and they did not stick a lot of landings, and we'll see if they can get it going on vault. Now for LSU on bars, Bridget Dean will lead off. You can see Sarah Finnegan, she is the all-everything for the LSU Tigers. She is their anchor. But Bridget Dean did not compete for LSU in 2018, but she is a former elite gymnast. She's got some great gymnastics in this first routine, and always so important.
Coming up onto the high bar. To a ring. Toe handstand. There, handstand. Then put that handstand on the high bar. Let's go for the dismount and double leg. Strong leg separation from this angle. Some form deductions here and there that the judges are going to take. She was short on her first pass handstand. You can see falling below that 10-degree mark where they let it wiggle on by. And then that dismount, really big leg separation and bend. So the judges aren't seeing it the way I am, but they can also see the separation from their angle as well.
Jessica Yanzon score 9.725. Now Downers-Grove, Illinois native junior Michaela Burton.
Table, Yanko full, pipes it down. Nice height, not a ton of distance, but did have that strong pike in the hips. A little bit of a shoulder angle as she hit the table. You can see her piking down, her head down on the landing. Ideally, she wants to be a perfectly straight body and absorbing through her knees and ankles with a stick.
Now back over the bars. Bridget Dean waiting for her score is Sandy Durante, sophomore out of Athens, Georgia, and Georgia Elite. She's ready to mount the bars. She led off bars every week last year for LSU. She's now moved to the second spot.
Mounting over the low bar. Handstand on the high bar. Line change. Straddle Jaeger. Pat Salto.
Score for Bridget Dean a 9.7, so a couple of lowest scores for both of these teams leading on.
Handstand on the high bar. Two drying. Full twist double back. To a stick. That was a nice routine. Slight form breaks here and there. But that was a good, strong routine for LSU.
I'm not sure she can do this one a whole lot better. This was pretty good for Sammy Durante.
Just small things that I would like to see her clean up before postseason begins. That way she can really utilize her scoring potential.
She got the stick crown, well deserved. Michaela Burton's score on vault, meanwhile, a 9.775. This is Sarah Schaefer.
Last week, Sarah performed a beautiful Yurchenko layout half and stuck it. Let's see if she can stick it again here tonight. Huge ball, a little too much power. Did take that step forward. Very difficult to stick those blind landings.
Really, that vault is always perfect. It's just a matter of whether she sticks it or not, it seems like.
She has great form in the air, and just whether or not she's spotting the right spot to land.
So a couple scores in the 9.7s for Arkansas, starting off on vault. Junior Ruby Harold is the next one to go. She's out of Bristol, England. She's a two-time Olympian of Great Britain.
On bars, judges are looking for hip handstands, nice clean form, and of course, sticking back landing. Toe handstand, unfortunate, does not get her feet all the way up to the handstand to be able to make her line change out of that toe. Jaeger. Double front.
Covered up well, good fight, sticks the landing, but unfortunate mistake for Ruby Harold.
It will still count as a fall, unfortunately.
The rules for gymnastics, 6 gymnasts go on each event. The important part about that is they only have to count the 5 best scores, so they can drop a mistake, as we just saw from Ruby Harold. And at the end of the meet, they add up the scores. Highest score wins. Home team starts on vaults. Visiting team starts on bars. Sammy Durante's score in the 2 spot for LSU, by the way, on bars of 9.85. Sarah Schaefer in 9.8. Now Kennedy Hamber gets her turn.
Yurchenko, 1.5. To a stick.
And they needed that.
That was a great ball. Some little bit of form in the air. Knees are bending before her feet hit the floor. But that was a great vault. Good distance from the table. Absorbed that landing.
And that's what Arkansas is going to have to do all night to hang with the big dogs, the LSU Tigers. They're going to have to stick landings and hit routines. Now a little pressure on Kennedy Edney. She's following Ruby Harold's 9.675. A 9.675 is absolutely a score that you do not want to count in the women's gymnastics.
Up on the high bar. Free hip to release. Nice form. A little bit flexed feet. Free hip. Sort of handstand bail. Toe circle.
Kennedy is number 15 in the nation on this event.
Soft elbows on that cast. Double leg to a stick. That was fantastic. This LSU team must be a little bit tired. 3 meets in 8 days is a lot. It's grueling on the body and it's definitely grueling mentally. Hitting that handstand on the high bar. And nice air time on this release. You can see she does a free hip. Let's go up and over and catches the bar.
So another stick crown, now back over to vault. Sydney McGlone follows a 9.9, a career high for Kennedy Hammer. Sydney's currently ranked number 27 in the nation on this event. She is a senior out of Dublin, Ohio. A big moment for the Razorbacks early.
Tango full. Opens it up for the stick. Tries to turn quick so she didn't get a step deduction. That was a big ball for her.
It was. It looked like she could have just absorbed it a second longer.
She got a little too excited too soon and then tried to cover it up. She's like, and the stick, oh wait, I'd have to salute first.
Nonetheless, a great ball. Arkansas trying to put some pressure on the visiting LSU Tigers early here, trying to capitalize on a bit of a mistake on the uneven bars. Kennedy Edney gets a 9.875. This is Bailey Ferrer. Just a freshman.
Now it's up to the high bar, between the bars, blind change, straddle Jaeger, slight leg separation when she catches the bar. Bail handstand, a little bit loose body positions. Coach Jay Clark moving between the bars. Is allowed to be there for support for the athletes as long as he does not touch them. There's no deduction. Finishes with a double A, small hop. For a freshman, that's a good routine. She's not handling the pressure very well. And it's just small things that these little deductions add up. Like that leg separation on the catch, tight body in the double layout. Clean these up, and this routine can score very well.
Big adjustment for her coming to LSU. Her first time in a classroom was on the 9th of January. She was homeschooled, came to school in January, and just hopped right to it. Back over the vault, Amanda Ellswick anchors the vault rotation. She follows Sydney McGlone's 9.825.
Amanda Walter, your can't go 1.5. I saw her warm up. It was fantastic. And it was great here, too. Just needed a little more control in that landing. Nice body position up onto the table. Good air awareness. Just needed to get her head around just a tad bit sooner.
So a good finish for the Razorbacks. We got one more gymnast to go. And it is the great Sarah Finnegan. She's number 6 in the country on this event, one of the best all-arounders in the country as well. She means so much to this LSU Tiger team. This is Bailey Ferrer's 9.35.
Nice array on the high bar for Sarah. So handstand to bail. Back up on the high bar. Building momentum for her dismount. Double A. Legs perfectly together to a stick. That, I mean, there was barely anything a judge could take from that.
That young lady is automatic. Unbelievable, the consistency throughout the season. Her coaches say she is just unfazed. So we got one rotation done. Sarah Finnegan's got the crown. When we come back, we're going to talk preparation for the postseason. That means we're going to get you prepared for what's to come.
Fast forward commercials on here. Well, this sucks. It won't even let you fast forward from the commercials on demand. I mean, who wants the commercials? It sucks.
Surprising audiences everywhere.
It's a unique sensation.
Fighting With My Family is the first truly great movie of 2019.
It's Dwayne Johnson and I'm Big Diesel.
Dodge, don't you hit him.
I love you, Robin. It's Dwayne Johnson and I'm Big Diesel.
Dodge, don't you hit him.
I love you, Robin. I love you too.
Fighting With My Family, rated PG-13.
Welcome back to Friday Night Heights on the SEC Network. We have 21 ranked Arkansas Razorbacks hosting the LSU Tigers. After one rotation, it is a slight lead for the visiting LSU Tigers, just a half a 10 over the home team, and it's looking like it could be a very good competition. One that LSU is heavily favored, but after one event, it's very tight. Now we're coming to the end of the regular season, Alicia, and a lot of things are still in the works. We know that the regular season SEC title is still at play. Florida did not clinch today, but they're also looking forward to that SEC tournament. And what are these teams trying to accomplish in the last few weekends of the season?
So for those that you don't know, SEC is broken into 2 sessions. There's an early session and an evening session. Ideally, you want to aim to be in that evening session. Scores are a little bit higher, and it's giving you a more realistic play of who's going to be your conference championship.
So we have one weekend left to go in the regular season, and we have some things that they need to accomplish are coming up on the RQS, which will come out shortly, but also some of the last matchups as we look forward. And that is your rankings right now, and you can see how tight it is between Georgia and Auburn for that 4th spot that Alicia talked about. That is so critical. If you're not in that top 4, it's going to be very tough for you to win the SEC title. And that SEC tournament, you do not want to miss it. It's taking place in New Orleans, and it is going to be a good one. It is going to be a battle. It's going to be March 23rd, and it's going to be on ESPN2 down there in the Smoothie King Center. That will be one you don't want to miss. Now, I mentioned we have the last weekend of the SEC regular season. We have some good matchups. As these teams head to those specific meets, what are some of the things we should look for? What are they trying to accomplish?
These teams are trying to pad their rankings a little bit. So once RQS kicks in, they want to get as much of a high score as they can to up their average.
So some of the meets that we are going to be watching, things to look for as we head into that last weekend of the season. These are your Who's Taking the Next Step, brought to you by Region. Matchups are going to be good. Kentucky versus Missouri, 13-19. Also, the Iron Bowl of Gymnastics, number 11, Auburn, number 9, Alabama, and of course, Florida. They're going to have to try to clinch it the last weekend. They're going to have to do it against Arkansas, and we also have a great matchup. The upset queens, the Georgia Gym Dogs, they are going to be going against number 5, LSU. We'll see if they can get the job done again there. Our score once again here in Fayetteville, LSU, they got a half-tent lead over the home team, the Arkansas Razorbacks. In the next rotation, LSU, they're going to go to vault. They're going to be led by their captain, Sarah Finnegan. And meanwhile, over on the bars, an event that's been very tough for the Arkansas Razorbacks, Sarah Schaefer will try to get things right for the home team.
I really didn't expect to learn so many interesting details. Ancestry DNA was able to tell me where my father's family came from in Colombia. They pinpointed the Colombian and Ecuador region, and then there's a whole new Andean region that was incredibly exciting because I really didn't know that. We never spoke about that in my family. It just brings it home how deep my roots are, and it connects me to them and to their spirit and to their history.
20 million members have connected to a deeper family story. Order your kit at Ancestry.com.
So I have this recurring dream. I'm 85 years old in a job where I have to wear a giant hot dog suit.
What? Where's that coming from?
I don't know. I started my 401k early. I diversified. I'm not a big spender.
Well, sounds like you're doing a lot.
But I still feel like I'm not going to have enough for retirement. Like there's something else I should be doing.
With the right conversation, you might find you're doing okay.
So no hot dog suit.
Not unless you want to.
No.
Schedule a complimentary goal planning session today with TD Ameritrade.
Tuesday, catch men's college basketball doubleheader. First, it's Missouri taking on Mississippi State at 7 Eastern. And then after a big statement win, it's number 4, Kentucky and Arkansas. Right here on the SEC Network and streaming on the ESPN app. News and notes around the SEC. As we know, Georgia gets it done at Florida. What a big win. A signature win for young head coach Courtney Capets-Carter. That's the first loss in the regular season for the Gators. Meanwhile, Auburn tallies their 5th SEC win of the season, most in program history. They are still in the mix for the regular season SEC title. And then number 13, Kentucky defeats number 9, Alabama, and that is quite a run for the Kentucky Wildcats. They are coming on strong late in the season. As you can see, the 3rd straight meet of 197 or higher. Right here, though, we talked about it, just a half a tenth separating the LSU Tigers and the Arkansas Razorbacks. And Alicia, talk about how there's been some upsets around here, around the SEC, and if we see Arkansas get it done tonight, it almost might be par for the course. That is head coach Mark Cook, and his team is a lot more than just about competing on the floor. They've done a remarkable job around the community and their community service.
One thing that this team does is they really want to help others, so they're going to hospitals and hospital visits through book readings. It's more than just about the sport. It's about creating a culture of women that are empowering younger generations to be successful in their own future. So it's something that's really remarkable, and I salute these athletes for doing that.
I think it's really something that a lot of the SEC teams have been doing, and it's great to see. We know we've seen some great stories with the LSU Tigers as well, and it's more than just getting on the floor and getting high scores and winning meets for these young ladies, and especially for these coaches. And if anybody knows that, it's Dee Dee Bro. You can see her right there moments ago. She's in her 42nd season as the head coach of the LSU Tigers. Associate head coach Jay Clark giving some last words of encouragement for the LSU vault lineup. They've got some good experience. Just McKenna Kelly with 6 appearances on this event. The rest of the squad, a lot of experience, and you know they are looking for a big road score. Talked to Dee Dee Bro before the competition, and she said, yeah, a big road score would really help us a lot in those rankings and getting seeded properly for the regionals that come at the end of the year. She anchored the bar rotation. She will lead off the vault rotation, Sarah Finnegan.
A fantastic competitor. She's so competes at your tango pole, has the ability to open up and stick it like she just did. There's a small scooch of that 1 foot.
A scooch, not a step.
It's not a step, it's a scooch. Nice tight body, just opens it up. Yeah,
And she is coming down from a stratosphere that
So
few
high.
get to.
That was absolutely beautiful. Not the longest ball, but that's okay because that was well controlled, good form. I'm thinking 9-9 for that ball.
So as we talked about, Jessica Yanzon leading off every event. She put up a 9.725 on the ball. And she's on ball.
Bouncing up onto the high bar. Freeze handstand. Keep your cautious. Fail. Back up on the high bar now. Loose body position in her middle. She needs to keep her core tight to not lose any reduction on that handstand. Full twisting, double out, 2 6. I would love to see just a tighter body position in the dismount, but that was awesome. Takasha going up and over the bar, well controlled on the glide into the hip afterwards, and that dismount. Double out with a full twist. Fantastic.
So Ruby Harrod struggled on bars, trying to get things back together here on vault. Sarah Finnegan scores a 9.85. Looks like they did take a full 10th on that landing.
Ruby warmed up some great 1.5. Good height and speed. Looking for that control. Unfortunately, with that step backwards, the judges will take more of deduction because it shows under rotation. Up onto the table. Slight leg bend before anticipating the landing. 10.0 star value for 1.5. Very difficult blind landing.
Back to bar, sophomore Sophia Carter. Jessica Yanzon in the lead-off position, a 9.775.
Sophia mounts up onto the high bar. Line change. Straddle Jaeger. Giant bail. Back up Hanson on the high bar. Line change full, a little bit slow. Close to the wall. Still manages to stick it. That was, she almost put her toenails on that bar. Looks like she lost some momentum. So this is the Jaeger, which was done very well. And then that dismount, she goes into her blind change full. It's very slow. Trying to control a little too much for the stick. But she still pulls it out.
The stick crown is waiting anxiously for a head to sit on, and that might just be McKenna Kelly. Ruby Harrod a 9.825. This young lady can fly.
She vaulted for handspring front pike half. Not done very often in NCAA. Super tough. Great vault. Needed a little bit more of her chest up on that landing, but it was awesome.
McKenna's mom, Mary Lou Retton, one of the most famous names in women's gymnastics, is in the house. And there is Mary Lou, first American female ever to win the Olympic all-around gold medal when she did that in 1984. A legend in the sport. Now Kennedy Handbrook mounts the uneven bars. We're waiting for Sophia Carter's score.
Mounting over the low bar, Hanson on the high bar, line change. Ike Jaeger to immediate golden shoes. Bail. Connection. Bonus points for that. Unfortunately, passed it over on the high bar. I was about to say I like how aggressive she does her bar routine. It's dynamic, it's quick. She just had a little too much full twisting double back. It's not to a stick.
And this has been an event, Mark Cook told us before the competition, this has been an event that has been such a struggle for the Razorbacks. They cannot put 6 strong routines together, and they do it again tonight.
Very quick, dynamic connections happens almost in the blink of the eye, and then she just had too much power on the high bar and unfortunately cast it over.
Back over to vault, opportunity for LSU to try to extend that half-a-tenth lead. Juliana Panamella, a senior out of Waxhaw, North Carolina, Southeastern Gymnastics.
Nice stuff landing. That was great.
McKenna Kelly scores a 9.85 for her vault. So 9.9 is tough to come by so far this evening.
If the judges are going to be really overly critical, she did pipe down a tiny bit in her hips before the landing, but that was a nice ball.
Kennedy Hambrick just a 9.45. That will hopefully for Arkansas be the score they drop. Otherwise, this meet could get out of hand early. This is junior Haley Garner out of Memphis, Tennessee. Gym Stars Gymnastics.
A little bit short on that handstand, starting off routine blind change full to immediate ganger to immediate bail. Back up on the high bar. Blind change full to immediate double back. Lots of connection in this routine. Small form breaks here and there. Trying to hit these handstands. I felt like this one was definitely short, so the judges are going to nab her for that. And then that blind change full was perfectly straight at the end with the pirouette, but still good enough to connect that dismount too.
She wanted to go out to LSU since she was a level 5, and here she is, Sarah Edwards. Follows a 9.825 from Juliana Canamella.
Sarah's going to be doing everything. Go 1.5. Almost like a pogo stick. She knew exactly where she was, just needed to get that head around. Her body was there, but her head was not. Good air time. Oh, maybe I was thinking that head was around. Dee Dee loved it.
Sarah Edwards loves it as well. On guard, Haley Garner, a 9.775. That was a career high for Haley Garner. And now redshirt sophomore, Sarah Schaefer. She was the 2018 SEC Freshman of the Year.
So handstand. To bail. Handstand on the high bar. Building momentum for the dismount. Double layout. Nice body position in the air. Only that small hop on the landing. Arkansas needed that hit routine to hopefully bump up their team score.
And remember, they're trying to drop the 9.45 from Kennedy Hambrick, so critical. And Sarah Schaefer and Sydney Laird, the last two gymnasts to go, both hit their routine. Sarah gets the job done. We'll see Sydney in a few moments. Meanwhile, Kennedy Edney, Nancy, and even bar Sarah Edwards right before her got a 9.875.
What the judges are looking for in vault is the amplitude, the height they're getting off the table, the landing, and then the start height. So not all vaults starting at 10.0. Your tango 1.5 does though, and that was almost perfect. Just a small foot movement on that landing. Big vault, nice height, good distance.
She almost, you can see the board. Her feet were on the safety zone as she takes off the board. Wow.
She doesn't move her foot. It just goes up and in place. What do you think, John? Are they going to get her for that?
I got to take a half tenth on that landing, I think. Now the anchor for the Arkansas Razorbacks on bar, sophomore Sydney Laird. Sarah Schaefer, a season high 9.875. So an opportunity here to keep this meet close.
Unfortunately, just did not get enough height up and over that bar. Just went too far back.
And this was the most important routine of the night for Arkansas. It doesn't happen.
Ideally, you would like to catch that release at the lightest point when you're up above and your hands are reaching down. She was trying to grab from below, which makes it very hard when you think about all the body weight pulling you off the top high bar.
It does look like they're going to have to count that 9.45 from Kennedy Hambrick, and when Kennedy Edney puts up 9.9s like she just did on vault, it's gonna be a nice lead for LSU after 2.
A little bit short of handstand there. Trying to finish the routine strong without any other major deductions. Double layout. A little too much power, tightened it down. Finished the routine strong. Unfortunately, did not go the way she was hoping.
Another tough bar rotation for the Arkansas Razorbacks. We will tally the score when we come back, but before that, we're going to talk about the J&A Academy is open. We're going to break down RQS scoring, regional qualifying scoring, when we return.
Every day, visionaries are creating the future. So every day, we put our latest technology and vast expertise to work. The United States Postal Service makes more e-commerce deliveries to homes than anyone else in the country.
Artificial intelligence helps us meet the needs of tomorrow today.
By 2050, we need to produce 60% more food. So how do we feed the world without wrecking the planet? Using Microsoft AI, we make predictions about when to plant, when to irrigate, and when to harvest. Now we can reduce waste and produce more food.
Artificial intelligence helps us change the way we feed the world.
School's open and the J&A Academy is in session once again. And this week we're going to break down RQS. RQS is the regional qualifying score. And we're going to talk about why the regional qualifying score is important. The regional qualifying score is what these teams use to qualify themselves to the regional championships. The top 36 teams go to compete at the NCAA regionals. Those regionals are the first step towards trying to qualify to the NCAA championships. It also talks about why it is important that these teams during the regular season aren't just winning meets, but they're scoring big scores.
So the way you get your RQS is a little bit different than what we used to. So you're going to have your top 3 away scores, and then your next 3 highest scores, whether that be home or away. You are going to drop the highest score, and you average the remaining 5 to get your current RQS. We're going to use LSU as an example of how to calculate their current RQS up to date. So we have their 3 away scores that need to count, and then their remaining 3 scores have to be home meets. Get rid of their 197.65, average the remaining 5. So their current RQS is a 197.110. So RQS is super important because it is giving the teams to be able to really to run status quo. That way, if they have a slow start to the season and have some bad meets, those get rated out. And it also gets rid of the super high friendly score that judges gave you at home that maybe would pad your resume and team scores, but now it just gives them an even playing field and have averages.
So it tries to even out where teams truly rank, but what about that ranking and how important is that ranking for these teams? Like in LSU, trying to get, they're in 5th right now, how important is it they're in the top 4 for 10?
You want to be in the top 4. Like all of these competitions are divided into different sessions, early session, late session. And the late session is so important because, like we've talked about before, the scores typically tend to be higher. The judges are tired. They may be a little bit more forgiving for some form breaks. So all teams want to aim for that afternoon session.
Well, we're going to keep an eye on the RQS. You guys at home can follow it. It'll be coming out on Monday. That is your score after 2 rotations, a commanding lead for LSU. Meanwhile, LSU will be going to the floor exercise. Arkansas will be going to the beam. They're led by Michaela Burton, 9.9 points last week. Can she do better this week? Meanwhile, McKenna Kelly, she is the comeback kid. She will be on the floor exercise.
My name is Leslie. My favorite thing about the Grilled Chicken Club is the grilled chicken. Like it's actually been on a grill. As soon as you grab it to go take your first bite, it's just like insanely good.
I'm a little bit country.
I'm a little bit rock and roll.
I'm a little bit of Memphis and Nashville.
With a little bit of Motown in my soul. I don't know if it's good or bad.
But I know I love it so.
A little bit country. A little bit rock and roll.
The all-new Chevy Silverado. It's a little bit country, and it's a little bit rock and roll.
Got a nice crowd inside Barnhill Arena, and it's been a good meet, but LSU starting to pull away. 98.525 for the visiting Tigers, 97.8 for the home team, Arkansas Razorbacks. A lot of gymnastics yet to go, just halfway through. Monday, catch SEC Inside for an all-access pass to South Carolina and LSU basketball. You'll get never-before-seen footage and sounds from the season so far. Inside the Gamecocks at 6 Eastern, and it's Inside the Tigers right here on the SEC Network and streaming live on the ESPN app. So, Alicia, obviously Arkansas puts himself in an early hole. What do they need to do to try to close that gap, first of all, but also to try to maybe get another season-high score?
Arkansas has had its struggles on bars, and they moved to balance beam. Hopefully they don't let those struggles carry over, and they can focus and try to hit every single beam routine to make them count.
You can see the all-around leaderboard, a couple of Tigers at the top, tied at the top. Both of those young ladies, Sarah Finnegan and Kennedy Edney, have done all around in every single competition this season, as well as Jessica Yanzon. How hard is that, Alicia, as you get to the end of the year?
You almost go on autopilot because your body's so used to doing it, but it can get mentally and physically wearing to be doing all around every competition every week.
Jessica Yanzon leads off balance beam. She is currently sitting in 3rd place in the all-around. And we talk about it over and over, but winning the meet is obviously would be great for the Razorbacks, but they have to start putting up some big scores, raise that RQS that we just got done talking about, to put themselves in position here at the end of the season to maybe catch some lightning in a bottle and make it past that regional into the NCAA championships again.
The coaching staff for Arkansas says, we have yet to put a full meet together. We have not gone 24 up for 24 counts. So it's been a little bit of an adjustment trying to get this team on the same page to be consistent.
And they will not do that again tonight. We saw in bars a couple of mistakes, but they've got 12 routines to go here to make a statement.
Back handspring layup, step out, small balance check.
Jessica is the 2nd freshman in program history to qualify to the NCAA championships as a freshman.
Front toss, rock solid on that landing. Jump to gainer, full twisting dismount. Almost had that stick, but didn't turn quite quick enough to salute the judges. Very difficult 3-skill acro series. Just shifted her weight to her back foot a little bit too soon. And then that dismount, the full twist, the layout, gainer off the side, threw the head back, but should have just probably got her feet together first.
So for LSU on floor, meanwhile, or on vault rather, 49.3 was 1/10 off their season high pace. Now they move to the floor exercise. Ruby Harold at the top of the list will lead things off. Came back nicely with a great vault after a rough bar routine. We remember the 2015 World Championship team for Great Britain that won the team bronze medal.
Ruby opening up her first tumbling pass with the front handspring, front laid out double full. We've talked about the dog days this season. You can see Ruby with both ankles taped. It's not uncommon to see these athletes with their limbs all wrapped up for a little extra support. Double pike second pass.
Ankles not bothering her on that pass.
Switch ring to switch half. The one issue having both your ankles taped that tight is really hard to get a full toe point. So some judges, if they're going to be sticklers, could even take a test, like a deduction for not having the full toe point extending from the ankles all the way through the feet. 1.5 front layout, last tumbling pass. Ruby struggled a little bit on bars, but made up for it on vault to the floor. Starting off the Tigers with a great hit.
Tough first pass.
Very tough. A front double twist. And then the connection pass. The 1.5 to just a little bit of a knee bend before her feet hit the floor.
They call it a stick at the end of that routine. She gets the crown. Kennedy Hambrick, second up for Arkansas. Jessica Yanzon with a very nice starting score on being a 9.8. Kennedy has done all around the last 5 meets. She is doing all around again here today. Currently sits in the 4th spot.
On balance beam, the judges are looking for the connections of skills. Your acro series and then balance checks. The least amount of wobbles and bobbles you can have, the better. Small balance check after her back handspring layout step out. Interesting lead connection there. It was like a combination of a stack jump and a Sassone to a switch half. Solid on that aerial. straddle 3/4. Cartwheel gainer full to a stick. That was a beautiful beam routine.
Two outstanding routines for the Razorbacks to start this beam rotation.
Rock solid on that aerial. And then the connection of the cartwheel to gainer full to a stick. Great way to finish that beam routine.
Some happy Razorbacks so far in the beam rotation. Ruby Harold, a 9.8 to lead off on floor exercise. Now Christina Desiderio, sophomore out of Hackettstown, New Jersey, in Parquette's Gymnastics, legendary club. With legendary coaches Bill and Don Stroud.
First tumbling pass, right up by handspring, double leg. That heel was just out of bounds, but I didn't see anybody throw up a flag.
And I'm going to be surprised. There was a judge right in front of her, and it really looked like that heel went out, touched the white.
Front touch, step out, round out back handspring, double tuck. Switch ring, Bourgeois half. Third tumbling pass. Round out by handspring, double pike. Whips that thing around pretty quick. Another good floor routine for LSU.
I'm very curious, though. I think we're going to get another look at this first pass. Put your judging hat on. Is she in? And it's so
That angle's hard to tell. That's the way the judge is probably going to see it too. And that table almost is going to be blocking her view from where she's sitting. And then that double pike, a little bit sloppy with the legs at the second half of that. But we're also seeing that in a little bit slow motion. So
Going to be Hamburg at a 9.85. Now freshman out of Austin, Texas, Amanda Ellsworth.
following her sister's footsteps, being a Razorback. Split 3/4. I would like to see that be a little bit more dynamic and closer to 180 degrees. Back handspring, step out, layup, step out.
Desiderio's score, by the way, 9.85 on floor. That is a season high for her.
Feet jump to a front aerial. Round off, double full dismount, small hop backwards. That was a nice beam routine.
Really very few places to take deductions other than that hop at the very end.
The back handspring layup, step up. Perfectly straight knees, square on the landing. Dismount was a little bit around the side on that round off, but she still made it work to control the double full.
And that bodes well for the Razorbacks because they have some young ladies later in the lineup that can put up huge numbers if they can hit clean. Back over the floor, this is Reagan Campbell, sophomore out of Dallas, Texas. TV Burrow talks about this young lady glowingly. Says she's pure, she does floor with so few deductions and such great execution.
A little bit out of control on that 2.5 twist. John just jinxed her. But that being said, her form during the twist was immaculate. The landing was just a little bit, yeah, I'm trying to cover you, buddy. Round up by handspring double tuck. Switch half, straddle full. Getting ready for her last couple in class. Round off 1.5 front leg. Reagan has such beautiful leaps. She's a very dynamic jumper. It's over 180 degrees. Finish the routine with that nice connection pass. Well controlled. Looks like Dee Dee loved it.
Dee Dee said once she got into the floor lineup, she just couldn't take her out. She earned her way in, and you can see why. Now back to beam. Amanda Ellsworth with a career high 9.85. This is Sophia Carter. She has flirted with the 10-0 on this event, and if there's ever a time Arkansas needed it, it is right here.
Split jump to sheet jump. Back handspring step out, layout step out. Fighting to stay on. Front aerial, small balance check. Aerial back full dismount to a stick. Small balance checks here and there, but it was a hit. So this beam lineup has been pretty good about hitting these routines. Connection bonus for the aerial to back full.
So 4 for 4 for the Razorbacks. Scores building for them. Meanwhile on floor, Reagan Campbell a 9.875 for her routine. Scores are building there as well. As they get to the meat of their lineup, Kennedy Edney in the 4th spot gets her shot.
Volunteer assistant coach Ashley Claire Gurney is responsible for the choreography, and she does a great job making all these routines unique to the athlete. Starting with the Arabian double front, that looked like it was going to be short to me on that landing, and she managed to stay on 2 feet. That was very impressive. Second tumbling pass, ground up 1.5 front leg. Keeping an eye on that corner, making sure she wasn't close to going out of bounds. Switch ring. Georgia Tahap, a little bit low in that jump, lacking some amplitude. Up back handspring double top. Opens it up a little early. Under rotating that last pass. Stayed on her feet, but it will get a decent sized deduction for that landing.
Couple spots for deductions. Maybe Arkansas can chip into that lead just a little bit in this rotation.
At Arabian double front, that step backwards is always a little bit more of a deduction than a typical step forwards because it does show under rotation. And then that double tuck, she just opened too early. If she held her legs a little longer, she could have landed that just fine.
Sophia Carter gets a 9.9. That ties first season high. Now Katarina Garrett, freshman out of Pearland, Texas, and Pearland Elite Gymnastics. Coaches Tasha Deal and Nick Cedillo do a great job down there. And this is a bigger team.
Back handspring step out, layout step out. split jump to split three-quarter. Definitely needed to see more on that split three-quarter. It was lacking the 180 degrees that the judges are looking for. Finish the routines from, I think Arkansas has to be happy with it. They're just hitting these routines. They may not be the biggest scoring routines, but they're hits, and they're pretty clean. That gainer full, I would like to see straighter body, not so much pike at that end, but...
Well, they're not bad scoring either. Every score so far over a 9.8, with the high score being Sophia Carter with that 9.9. Katarina Garrett looks like she'll keep that rolling. Now, Sarah Finnegan, the senior out of Lee Summit, Missouri, is following a 9.65 from Kennedy Edney.
They hammered her on those landings.
Yeah, this is a big moment for them. They can't afford any mistakes or they'll let the Razorbacks creep back into this.
Round up 1.5, step out, 2 round up back handspring, 2.5 twist with room to spare. That is already a loaded tumbling pass, and she could have added another skill if she wanted to. Round up back handspring, double tuck. Very well controlled on that landing.
Katarina Garrett, by the way, for Arkansas and being a 9.825. So the Razorbacks continue to roll over there.
Switch ring to switch half. Last tumbling pass for Sarah. Round up back handspring, double pipe to a stuck landing. You're allowed to take a controlled step, and that isn't any deduction, but she shows how much control she has in her tumbling by sticking that hold.
There are few things as automatic as Sarah Finnegan competing in the sport of gymnastics. Michaela Burton just 11 days ago, she put up a 9.95, tied a career high and the second highest event score in school history.
Let's see if she can repeat that routine here tonight. I know Arkansas could use a 9.95 right now, try to boost their team score.
They put that up. This is going to be a huge team score for them. And it looks like with one left to go for LSU on 4, they may be able to chip into that lead just a little bit.
Front aerial.
And it will not be a 9.95, unfortunately.
Fought to stand the beam, did not fall, but she will have a decent amount of deductions for the fight to stay on. Back handspring land step out. Small balance check on that landing.
Alicia, do you think when you put up big scores in the past and you know you're in a big spot and you're capable of that 10, do you think about that too much rather than focusing on the actual gymnastics?
It depends on the competitor. Some athletes maybe get ahead of themselves and think that they want to be putting up the same scores as last week, but each competition is a new day, and you really can't live in the past because that doesn't reflect the training that you put forward that week or from that point. Had that big wobble and balance check, but finished the routine strong.
A great fight for Michaela Burton, but over on floor exercise, Sarah Finnegan says not so fast, 9.95, first season high, and they still got a great one left to go. And it's McKenna Kelly. Earlier this year, February 1st, she puts up her career high, 9.975.
That was almost perfect score. Opened the routine up with a huge double layout. Let's see how close she can get to that 10 tonight.
By the way, the J&A Academy is still on 10-0 watch. We have not
had
seen
one.
10-0 in any of the meets we've covered. We're running out of chances.
Maybe just keeping up with our track record of neither of us getting 10s. None of our meets will have 10s either.
There you go.
Opens up that big double lay.
Not going to land one better than that. Remember, they can drop that 9.65, and even with that mistake, this looks like it could be a huge floor score for LSU. McKenna Kelly gets it done here.
Second tumbling pass. Front layout to front full. Nice stuff, then step controlled landing. Judges like to see unique routines. They like seeing those big skills like a double layout and a rigging double front. Change up from the norm of the double heights and the connection passes that they see more often than not. Crochet half, a tough 1.5.
If she can stick this pass, the judges are going to have a hard time finding any deductions. This has been so clean.
Double tuck kicked it open just a smidge early. She still landed up pretty upright, which is fine, but it will be a small deduction for that.
Nonetheless, a great finish. Bob Mary Lou loves it. As she should. McKenna Kelly, what a comeback kid. Tore her Achilles last year. We saw her at the first meet of the season. She proved it. She is that strong. Coming up, Alicia and I will get you caught up on SEC news and notes and look back at number 7 Georgia versus number 3 Florida. You're watching Friday Night Heights on the SEC Network.
The unmistakable Cadillac XT4. Once again, driving is joyful. Starting under $36,000.
Everybody all set? Do we need a minute?
Yeah. Networks like sushi should never be just okay. AT&T is America's best wireless network according to America's biggest test. Now with 5G.
Welcome back to Barnhill Arena on Princess Night here in Fayetteville. And after 3 rotations, the lead stays the same for the LSU Tigers, .725 over the Arkansas Razorbacks. Only a 9.75 from McKenna Kelly. I thought that was a little bit low. Alicia's over here telling me the spots they could take deductions, but a tough score as Dee Broke looks on SEC Weekly Honors. We see some familiar faces, Alicia.
And LSU Sarah Finnegan was a force to be reckoned with last week, and she took home your gymnast of the week. Georgia's Sabrina Vega was the specialist of the week, bringing it home for them in the clutch floor routines. And last and certainly not least, Trinity Thomas, the legend in the making, was freshman of the week.
Tell you what, Trinity Thomas and Sarah Finnegan, they are fixtures on the SEC Weekly Honors. And what a matchup. Georgia and Florida. Florida with a chance to clinch the regular season title, but Georgia has something to say about it.
It was a battle of the Bauman's. Both sisters were competing here tonight, and Rachel was one of the reasons why they had such a great team score with that phenomenal beam routine, and then Sabrina Vega being clutch when her team used her most with a 9.95 on balance beam. Absolutely stunning beam routine.
So Florida will have to wait another week if they hope to clinch the regular season title in the SEC. Georgia with their 3rd meet that was decided by less than a 10. Next Friday, we'll bring you more gymnastics. First at 6 Eastern, it's number 13 Kentucky and number 19 Missouri. Then it's number 11 Auburn and number 9 Alabama in the Iron Bowl of Gymnastics. Catch it all here on the SEC Network and live on the ESPN app. Once again, your score here, LSU to 147.75, Arkansas 147.025. The Tigers will try to close it out on the balance beam. Reagan Campbell will lead the way. She's number 20 in the country there. Meanwhile, Sophia Carter, she can go big on the floor side. The Arkansas Razorbacks are going to have to do just that.
Blue Moon is a Belgian-style wheat beer, brewed with Valencia orange peel for a flavorful and refreshing taste that rises above.
Car shopping, off you go.
No, sorry, we're getting a Hyundai.
Yeah, we used Shopper Assurance.
Hyundai, going up.
Hyundai Shopper Assurance. Transparent pricing, streamlined purchase, a 3-day worry-free exchange, and test drives that come to you. It's car shopping made better.
These ladies aren't dazzling you with their wits, they're crushing it with their dance moves. Friday Night Heights. Nobody ever said we didn't have fun here.
I like that one right there. So apparently Dee Bro feels the same way I do about that McKenna Kelly score. Had some words with one of the judges after that 9.75, but Alicia, you kind of had some other points that maybe there were some spots to take deductions. She had a conversation with Jay Clark as well.
I'm saying there are potential spots. I don't necessarily think they should have been taken, but if I was a judge, I'd say, okay, it'd be here and here.
Apparently, I'm being told by our crack staff there may have been a discussion about start value. We don't know that for sure, but nonetheless, LSU goes to balance beam. They've got a healthy lead, and they still have an opportunity here to score in the 197s if they can get 5 good beam scores. And again, we talked about a big road score for LSU and how important that was to them in Ebro. That is still in play here for the Tigers.
Back handspring, step out, layup, step out. Switch half to beat jump. Cat jump to gainer full twist to a stick. First routine up for LSU was a hit, and it was clean too.
So LSU starts off well. We're going to go over and we're going to see the same young lady starting off for Arkansas on the floor. Jessica Yamzon, she is in the all-around, currently third, chasing a couple of Tigers, a couple of veterans who know how to win all-around. Sarah Finnegan and Penny Eddy lead the way there. We talked about LSU getting that 197, that big road score. Arkansas has a chance still in this competition, even with some of those mistakes on uneven bars, to put up a season-high score well into the 196s. That would be huge for them, something to build on.
Jessica opens up with a double top. As you mentioned before, she is their leadoff on every event. I think that attributes a lot to how much trust they have in her as a competitor, that she can be up on every event, start off with a hit to get the momentum moving for everybody else in the lineup. Double pike, second pass.
Jessica has a high in the all-around of a 39.25 this year.
Switch side, straddle full. Last tumbling pass for Jessica. Front layout, front full. And that's why she's their leadoff. That double pike second pass. Well controlled on that landing, and then the connection of the front layout to front full to finish the routine strong.
Some words from volunteer coach Courtney McCool-Griffith, the Olympic silver medalist. Christina Desiderio in the leadoff spot for LSU, a season-high 9.875, and now Bridget Dean mounts the balance beam.
A little creative with her arms out of full turn. Front aerial to back handspring. Her hands were definitely crooked on the beam, and she managed to make that stay. Swiftly split quarter. A little bit wonky with her legs on that split jump. Front aerial. Aerial to back full, to a stick. That's 2 stuck dismounts so far for LSU on balance beam. The aerial, back handspring. You can see both hands were
Chesapeake Yams on a 9.825 in the leadoff spot. Now Kayla Camber, who's also doing the all-around tonight, sitting in the fourth spot currently.
Round off at handspring double tuck first pass. Second double pass front line out to front full.
Bridget Dean with an impressive 9.875. Career high for her on fourth. Sorry.
For
Yes.
LSU?
Thank you. Keeping me honest.
Last time we had round up and handspring double pike to a stick. I'm always impressed when athletes take their double pikes because it's just showing how much control they actually have on their skills. That first pass was a big double tuck. And then another look at that perfectly stuck double pike.
Like a dart.
That's right. Didn't move.
So like I said, LSU's on beam, not floor. Sammy Durante, no, she's worked her way into the beam lineup this year. Last year, just did uneven bars for the Tigers.
A nice front aerial to beat jump. Back handspring step out, layout, step out.
Beautiful. Katie Hambrick scores in the Fortress side of the career high 9.85.
Switch lead, split quarter. A nice control full turn. So just not running aerial back full, little crooked. Still manages to stick. Almost didn't land on the mat though.
It almost looked like it was good she was crooked because she looked close to the beam as well.
That back handspring left step out, perfectly straight. That dismount, on the other hand, was not perfectly straight. She was crooked even from her second foot coming from the aerial, but she still stuck it.
She got the important part.
That's right.
Amanda Ellsworth, freshman, starts her floor team.
John, isn't that how you start your dance moves on the club?
Probably. Just like that.
Opens with an Arabian double front, soft legs on her landing, but she stays on 2 feet.
And she's really made great strides, in particular on this event. Earlier in the season, she had a pretty serious high ankle sprain, worked her way back, and has really gotten into this floor lineup and been important to the Arkansas team.
Double tuck, second pass. She was chomping at the bit to get back in lineup, and they had to keep holding her at bay, make sure she was fully healed before they let her back in to compete. Which they have full full.
Amanda Ellsworth trying to build on a 9.825 and a 9.85 so far on floor for Arkansas.
A double tuck at great height, good control. The front full, the front height. Not much where the judges could take deductions on that routine, John. I thought that was pretty nicely performed.
And she's got the stick snout. We have not seen a stick snout yet this season. That is a first. I love it. Now LSU on balance beam, they have a trio of 9.875 so far. Sammy Durante getting that score. Now Kennedy Edney, who's also fighting for the all-around title tonight, currently trailing her teammate Sarah Finnegan.
Front aerial. This is Sissone. Some people might wonder what's the difference between a Sissone and a split jump because they look very similar. A split jump stays in place while a Sissone travels forward, and your front leg should technically be not fully up at 180 degrees.
You're gonna have to repeat that whole thing later on for me.
I got you. Switch leap to straddle quarter. Front toss to it in a pike position to 2 feet landing. A little bit of a balance check on that. Round off 1.5 to a stick. These landings from LSU and Beaver, they're on fire. The front aerial to the Sissone that I was talking about. She travels forward. The back leg's at 180 degrees, the front leg's a little bit lower. Difficult front toss skill. She's a little impatient with that landing.
So back over the floor, Amanda Ellsworth, a career high 9.85. So good score so far for Arkansas. Now Sydney McGloin, one of the leaders of this Arkansas team, trying to build, trying to crack that 9.9.
Opens up with a double leg. Sydney going for a second tumbling pass around. Backhand from double tuck. A little too much juice. Has to slide that front foot back after her lunge. With a half straddle full. Front full, the front leg out. Sydney finishing her routine. Very strong. Recently just put this double leg back into her floor routine. She was working back from an injury. Doesn't miss a beat. A connection pass, the front full, the front layout.
Other than a couple mistakes on bars for the Razorbacks, they have looked really good on the other events. Obviously, a couple of routines yet to go for them. Kennedy Andy, a 9.85 on floor. She stopped her on balance beam, rather. Reagan Campbell mounts the beam. I really want them to be on floor, apparently.
Backhand from step out, layup, step out.
Reagan is ranked number 20 in the country on this event. You can see right there, she only needs a 9.525 for LSU to get the win. But keep in mind, bigger things at play for both of these teams. And that was their team score. Arkansas got a chance for a season high. LSU's got a chance to put up a big road score, which they need as well.
A little bit unsure of herself on the lead connection to switch lead to switch half. Round off double full dismount to another stick. LSU has really been taking the time to polish those landings, and you can tell. After a series of backhand handspring land, step out, and then that round off double full dismount, the beautiful stuck landing.
Reagan Campbell really looks like she's starting to peak at the right time in the season. And Sarah Schaefer next up for Arkansas. On the floor, she follows Sydney McGlone's 9.875.
Opening up with that Reagan double front. Seems that she was close to the going out of bounds and managed to step to the side and back. Round off by handspring double top second pass.
Sarah's really made a nice comeback in 2017. She was actually out with an elbow injury and elbow surgery, but she has been strong for the team this year, as well as one of the leaders, along with Sydney McGlone. The coaches talk about her and Sydney as pulling the leadership sleigh. She's been really important through this season for the Razorbacks as they struggled early, but look like they're starting to put it together late.
Round up for 1.5 to the front tuck. Didn't fully have her legs underneath her on that 1.5. Still managed to be able to do the front tuck, but
Amazing she was able to stay on her feet, honestly. Wow.
athletes are very strong and they have to be well conditioned to be able to control those types of mistakes and not be too judgmental.
Reagan Campbell gets a season high 9.9 for LSU on beam, and now Sarah Finnegan needs a 9.575 on beam to clinch the all-around. If there's anything in sports that I would bet a Starbucks on, is that right there. She is as automatic as anyone on this event. She's currently ranked number 9 in the country on balance beam.
Open her beam routine with a wolf turn. Back handspring step out, layout step up. John, I literally was about to say, you jinx people.
Wow.
Like, I'm gonna let this play out and see. And you jinxed our girl Sarah.
Wow, that was an amazing save though too. An unfortunate mistake, but what a save.
Realistically, she could still score a 9.525 as long as she finishes this beam routine without any other major mistakes.
How much does it matter whether her hand had touched the beam when she wobbled or if it didn't touch the beam?
Finishing that side something very well. Well, it's maybe not as an aggressive introduction as a fall, but then you have to count the wobbles and bobbles before that and then the hand touch. Finishing routine really strong. Only had that one kind of major mistake for her. The back handspring left. She was already crooked from the back handspring, fighting to stay on.
You can see her teammates in the back too going, wow, what a save. Unfortunate finish for Sarah Finnegan. We'll see if the all-around title is going to be hers tonight or if it will be her teammates. Now, Arkansas is not done. Sarah Schaefer just a 9.6. Sophia Carter, one of those gymnasts that has the ability to go real high. I scored a 9.95 on this event.
Opens with a double tuck.
.775 for Sophia will give Arkansas a season high score.
Beautiful connection pass around 1.5 to front full. Sophia has great performance value. I think that's why her routine can score so well. It's just the way she presents herself in the routine. She has a great combination of dynamic leaps and jumps and strong tumbling.
Arkansas is not going to get the win tonight, but it looks like they will likely get a season high score, and more importantly, they look like a team that is heading in the right direction. Obviously some mistakes tonight, but they are quantifiable. I think they are fixable, and this team, you just got to keep an eye on them. You never know what they might be able to do once you get to regional time.
Head coach Mark Cook believes his team has top 10 potential. They just need more performances like they finished this meet tonight on the even floor.
This is big for them. Season high, again, 9.775. She needed to get the season high. It looks like they will do that. I believe they had 7 season highs for the team tonight as well, did Arkansas.
Talking with their coaches, they said the athletes really enjoyed training this week, and they had a good attitude. They were all kind of flowing together, and that showed in the performance tonight. They had a few mistakes, but they didn't let those mistakes cripple them. So they are definitely making strides in the right direction to hopefully be in the top 10 like Mark Cook believes they can be.
And meanwhile, on the other side of the floor, the LSU Tigers put up a very respectable score above 197, a 197.125 for them. So that 197 train continues to roll. We'll wrap things up when we come back. It's another LSU win. Their domination over Arkansas continues, but a great meet for the Razorbacks nonetheless.
Gary, I am proud of you, my man.
Making simple, smart cashback choices. With Quicksilver from Capital One, you're earning unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase everywhere. Like on that new laptop, Quicksilver keeps things simple, Gary, and smart, like you. And I like that.
I guess I am pretty smart.
Don't let that go to your head, Gary. What's in your wallet?
These days we're all stressed. I hear you, sister. Stress can affect our minds. I call this dish stress. Stress can also affect our bodies. So I'm partnering with Cigna to remind you that your emotional and physical health are more connected than you think. Go in for your annual checkup and be open with your doctor about anything you feel, physically and emotionally, body and mind. Cigna, together, all the way. That's better.
Back in Fayetteville, LSU gets it done, 197.125, but Arkansas, they put up a season high, 196.375. It wasn't for a couple mistakes for Arkansas and Bard. You never know, it would have been a really tight competition. LSU gets their 16th straight win over Arkansas and their 6th score of 197 or higher this season. Very impressive. Arkansas, as we mentioned, gets their season high, but 7 individual career highs today for the Razorbacks, and that's big. And Sarah Finnegan just does what Sarah Finnegan does all the time, and she wins another all-around title.
Sarah was great this evening. Bars was a big score for her. Great form in her release moves and finished it with a beautiful stuff dismount. Got the ball rolling for LSU. And that just carried over when she got to the floor. She really showcased her great athletic ability in her tumbling, in her dance, and her showmanship in this floor routine. That double pipe where she stuck that landing hold to win the all-around here tonight. She was fantastic.
A little wobble on the beam. Other than that, she was almost perfect. The SEC schedule rounds out the regular season next week. Number 13 Kentucky against number 19 Missouri. Kentucky surging in the standings. Meanwhile, Auburn and Alabama is always a good one, 11 versus 9. Florida will try to close out the regular season SEC title when they take on number 21 Arkansas. And a great one, I am sure, number 7 Georgia and number 5 LSU. Georgia Jib Dogs, they are just the upset queens, and they'll try to get it done again against the Tigers. That'll be a fun one to watch. There is your all-around champion. All smiles here. LSU trying to build as they get ready for the SEC tournament. They will not win the regular season for the first time in 2 years. Arkansas gets a season high. It was a fun one here in Fayetteville. The final score, 197-125 for LSU, 196-375 for Arkansas. For Alicia Sacramone Quinn, I'm John Roethlisberger. So long, everyone, from Fayetteville.
Yep, it's over now. hit the big red button and subscribe. Peace out, YouTube. I did get another subscriber the other night, and I was just watching TV in the other room with watching Growing Pains on Antenna TV. Yeah, it was on at 1 o'clock. Peace out, YouTube.